I don't give a crap about my front lawn. What are some other everyday social norms you just can't seem to buy into? My buddy had a story about this guy in his town. He had a couple sunflowers in a flower bed and the Anal Homeowners Association, HOA, came around and told him that he was not allowed to have them because they were too tall. He tried to fight it saying the rule was absurd, but they stuck to their guns. He then tilled his entire yard and planted corn. So there was a house in a normal neighborhood full of sculpted yards, with wall-to-wall corn that was like 8 feet tall. I guess he paid the fine or whatever the HOA tried to punish him with. As somebody who hates HOAs, that man is my hero. Love that story. This is what we should be doing with our lawns. Then we'd all have delicious corn without having to buy it. Wearing jeans street clothes if I'm just lounging about the house. If I'm not leaving the house, I stay in my PJs, even when there's company. Don't you hate pants? I have officially given up brushing my hair. I have pretty long, curly hair, and I used to go through this whole hassle of straightening it every day, which cooked the guts out of it. At the start of my summer holiday this year, I decided to quit. Now I just wash it, comb it with my fingers, put a little oil stuff in it and leave it the heck alone. If I need to look semi-presentable, I put it in a bun, and no one is any the wiser. This is saving me a good half hour every morning. No one has mentioned the difference in my grooming habits, so I'm guessing it either looks okay, or so unbelievably horrendous that no one has the courage to comment. My aunt let her lawn grow wild, and now she has a meadow that she mows paths into. It's beautiful, and when I own a house I'll do the same. Where I live you don't get meadows, you get weeds. They overtake the grass and replace it with thistles, dandelions, and milkweed. I knew a real gruff bastard once that received a bill from the city after they mowed his property. He had a college professor friend that gave testimony in court that there were rare plants on his property that the city had destroyed. The gruff bastard sued for damages and won. Ironing. My friends always whinge and complain that they've got piles of ironing to do when they get home, and they stand there, up to 2 hours at a time ironing baskets of clothes. It seems like such a time-wasting endeavor. I would rather spend 2 hours playing with my kids rather than worrying about their creased clothes. Word. Stick those suckers back in the dryer and hang them right away. Makeup every day. Yeah, I like to wear it occasionally, but it just seems like a hassle to do it every morning. Then everyone thinks that you look that way all the time, and if you don't wear any one day they're all asking you if you're sick. What? I prefer to keep everyone's expectations lowered and then bam, look really nice every once in a while. I'd rather spend the extra 20 minutes before work drinking coffee and browsing Reddit anyway. As a woman I like having the choice. I never wanted to wear makeup until my skin started breaking really bad with rashes, etc. I preferred spending a minute to throw on some foundation than walking around feeling self-conscious all day. Ironing bedsheets. Ain't nobody got time for that. I sit in my yard and pull weeds by hand, but it's not because I'm vain, or that I care what my yard looks like. I do it because I enjoy it. There is something very relaxing about pulling out weeds with your hands, especially when you can get the whole weed root in one pull. Till that some people think what I do to relax is me being vain, comma. My dad made me pull weeds almost every other weekend between the ages of 9 and 17. The only activity I despise more than that is spreading mulch. Laundry list. 1. Folding laundry right side out. Why? I'll leave it inside out and fold it, and when I'm ready to wear it, I turn it the right way too. Life is too short to fold underwear or sheets. Clubbing. Seriously can't be bothered with it. I would hope not. Baby seals are adorable. I am not going to compete with other moms about whose home is more fabulous, or whose kid is smartest or the better athlete, or who's prettiest in the best shape. Frick off. I do not care. Ugh. There's a friend of a friend whose house looks like Etsy exploded in there, and her kids are always wearing vintage clothes, and she does elaborately themed birthday parties. I know I shouldn't, but I just hate her so much. More as a general thing. Ray, the lawn. I just hate the keeping up with the Genese's game of lawn care. I mow my lawn occasionally so the toddler can run around in it, and, honestly, there's nothing more fun than making pretend you're the heavy when you've got a weed whacker. But I've never been able to get my lawn completely green, and at a certain point I was like, I'm okay with this. Around September, my garden maintenance station aka garage closes up completely. Leaves cover the yard. Who the frick cares? Leaves cover just about every other wild, natural stretch of field in the undeveloped world in the fall, and surprise, come spring, they're covered with green grass. It's as if grass grew without man's help or something. Miraculous. Washing my car. I can't stand doing it. I always feel that as soon as I drive it's going to get dirty. So what's the freaking point? Driving a Jeep, I feel I am required to have a layer of mud and dirt on it at all times. Why should I clean my room if I don't care it's messy and I never have people over? Because one day you'll have someone over. Thank you cards. I already said thank you in person. I don't need to spend $5 to say thank you again. I don't freaking get thank you cards except for like wedding gifts where you don't get the chance to say thank you. But for birthdays and stuff where you open it in front of them and say thank you, why the frick do they need the card? For that matter, birthday cards as well, unless they are handmade with love. I don't want to tuck my shirt in. For the love of all that is good and holy, I hate socks and shoes. I wear sandals as long as I can. And now that I discovered Vibrams, I can get out of even more sock shoe situations. Still haven't seen any steel-toed Vibrams though, so I can't dodge having to wear actual things on my feet while working. When we bought our house, the lawn was in horrible condition. The previous owners didn't take care of it at all. It looked even worse than it should have because our neighbor has Major League Baseball quality grass and it is meticulously maintained. This year I installed an in-ground sprinkler system and had quite a bit of landscaping done to remove about 20 cubic yards of crushed stone from the side yard and planted grass. I planted a good grass seed and fertilized, and the lawn started to look great. In fact, it still looks great. It's very green. Over the summer I started to notice my lawn was more green than his. Success. However, as August ended and September began, I noticed his lawn was greener than green. This didn't make sense. What was this guy doing? After the fertilizer guys came and sprayed his yard, I noticed their sign up in the yard advertising themselves. I wanted to know what this guy was doing. So I had my wife call the company pretending to be this guy's wife and ask as a reminder what they were doing and to explain the latest bill we received. Turns out, the fricking dude is having his lawn painted green. I saw this crap on Reddit weeks ago and thought it was a joke, that no one would ever do this. This guy is painting his lawn so that it is greener than mine. TLDR. Jealous neighbor is having his lawn spray painted green so it is greener than mine. Making my bed every morning. I make it when I know people will be seeing my room, but I kind of like coming back from early classes and napping in the little nest I had made the night before. The workaholic thing, or the going out to bars thing. Everybody I work with has basically dedicated their lives to working all the time, and they seem to get jittery and bored when they spend too much time at home. Personally, I do everything I can to leave and go home. It's the best part of my day and I love being there. The other one, I just don't like bars and I'm not big on drinking. Even if I wanted to drink though, I really don't understand why I would want to go spend $7 for a beer when you can buy enough booze to get me hammered 3+ times for like $25 at home. I feel like working too much and spending too much time in bars goes hand in hand. Imbalance in one area of life produces a complementary imbalance in another area. Work, work, work. Drink, drink, drink. It's a blast. You should try it sometime. I have no desire whatsoever to decorate my apartment. I'm fastidiously clean and organized, but the instinct to nest is just something I desperately lack. I have a poster of Edward Munch's Scream on my door, a poster of various Simpsons characters and their catchphrases, and a wall chart explaining neural stem cell development. I call it decor, but I'm a 26-year-old woman whose female friends are starting to settle down and develop baby fever, so they just call it being stuck in freshman year of college. That's fine by me, though, and honestly, I've tried to get into the whole domestic thing. but I never last. I just can't force myself to give even the most infinitesimal fraction of a frick. Baby fever is another thing that thankfully has eluded me as well, and I have no regrets about that. So I heard this story from a friend, but supposedly there's this woman who lived in a closed neighborhood where they have HOA rules. She painted her house to yellow after spending lots of $sign to get it done. After it was done, she was slapped with a HOA notice saying she was not allowed the unpermitted color and that she can only any of the 5 colors that they have listed: brown, gray, white, beige, and another color. She refused to change her colors and refused to pay the fine. So they took her to court and she lost sadly. So after court, she was really pissed off that she had to use a particular color. So she spent the entire repainting her house. Her house was painted in all 5 colors of the HOA's guidelines. It was ugly as heck, I was told. So the HOA took her to court again, and this time the judge ruled for her, saying she has every right to do what she did because she's following the rules. Needless to say, they backed down and let her paint her house the way she wanted. I hate how people judge each other based on how much they spend on clothing, watches, sunglasses, Apple products, shoes, etc. To me, the cheaper you are able to go while still having everything that you need, the better. Getting a tan. I live where it's highly valued and I still feel like an alien from a different world on this issue. I couldn't care less for a tan. This weekend I was on an island vacationing, and my so's cousin looked me dead in the eye and said, "Are you going to get a tan this weekend now?" Who the frick says something like that? Like my skin color choice is his business. Grow the frick up. The most watered crop in the United States, which produces nothing for consumption. I don't care if someone mails me a thank you note. Just call me or drop me an email. I hate writing thank you notes, but I do it anyway so people who do care don't get offended. My car has a change of clothes, swimsuit, toothbrush, toothpaste, a towel, and other toiletries. In the trunk I carry a basketball, soccer ball, and about 3 different kinds of power bars. I never know what I might end up doing and I hate having to go home just to grab one thing that I need. I feel like my list might be a little more socially unacceptable. 1. If I want to go grab some beers or a pack of cigarettes from the store, I don't care if I'm in my pajamas. I just don't. If I'm going full on grocery shopping, okay, but I hate when I'm leaving somewhere to get beer and there's that "You're going to go out looking like that?" Yeah, because I better look real snazzy walking out with 2 tall boys of Red Dog. 2. Shoes off at the door. I have always had pets, so I am going to vacuum anyways. As long as someone isn't tracking mud, I don't see the need to hassle people. 3. Totally agree on the lawn. I hear horror stories all the time of people knocking on their neighbors' doors to complain about lawn imperfections that could be easily overlooked. 4. The whole toilet seat positioning squabble. I'm female, but if a guy leaves the seat up, I simply put it down then do my business. Who cares? There's a lot more. I am resisting a longer list of grotesque things that I participate in. It's just pride for your home. I enjoy yard work, but I don't get bent out of shape over a few weeds. I am certain this sounds selfish, but no fricks will be given. Bringing a treat to work for my birthday. Why should I bring in a treat? It is my birthday. If anything, shouldn't someone else bring one in? Other people's appearances. As a woman, I am expected to be happy for and care about every pregnant woman in my office. I don't like kids and don't care when you're due, nor do I want to touch your belly or fawn all over your baby when it's born. I just want to do my job. I'd love a neighborhood of, instead of patches of lawn, everyone has gardens, crops, and we all can share. Or even if you don't share, it's at least not frowned upon to utilize the space we waste with a lawn now. I read somewhere on Reddit that a lawn was a way for a wealthy landowner to demonstrate that he was so wealthy, he didn't even need to plant crops on his land, like common folk. Sounds pretty crazy now that we see the environmental impact of importing food across the globe. Also, when you, partially even, can produce your own food, I think it connects you more to your environment, nature, and your community. TLDR. Yeah, I don't like lawns either. Using a bathroom to pee. Why can't I just choose the nearest tree? Ironing clothes. I don't even own an iron. Fashion trends. If it keeps me cool in the summer or warm in the winter, I'm good. More pockets are better. Got no problem with off-brand clothes. What's the fascination with expensive clothes if they're not any better? Weddings. I just can't seem to wrap my head around weddings. What's the point? What really changes? Why does the end result of a relationship have to be a wedding? Why would a couple, who otherwise gets along great, decide to split up because one or the other doesn't want to get married? I feel like a lot of the people I know who do get married do it with the mindset of, well, we've been together a year, 2 years, 5 years, might as well. Baffling. I got married in May. It's about the gifts. At least in our situation. We figured we've been living together for 5 years. If people want to give us all new appliances and accessories and send us on a week-long awesome honeymoon, let's give in. Still nothing's changed. We just got a bunch of new crap and some extra cash. Fashion. I'm a strict utilitarian when it comes to clothing. Unless it's a job interview or formal occasion, I just don't give a crap. I agree that fashion trends are stupid. However, for me, looking nice is really important. I'm not excessively vain, but as a post-grad who doesn't have a job, putting on slacks, collared shirt, nice shoes and leaving the house to look for jobs is a routine that really helps. I don't care about my lawn either, but I love my garden. I don't even water, and I live in Texas, so my lawn is brown. Also, I don't shave my legs. People call it poor personal hygiene. Why? I'm not dirty. I'm squeaky clean. Are you unhygienic for having hair on the top of your head? I hate shaving. It wastes time, money, and water. I will sometimes shave if I want to look extra nice, but it's a special occasions thing, not a regular occurrence. I cannot, for the life of me, wrap my head around people's fascination with karaoke. I met a girl not long ago who gets up about 3 hours before she has to do anything, so that she can wash, blow dry and straighten her hair, then brush her clip-in extensions for half an hour until they are smooth, clip them in, then straighten her hair again to smooth them in. Frick, that noise. She also folds her laundry and she puts it into the washing machine. That you should go away somewhere when you take annual leave. I just took a week off to wake up at 10 AM, sit in my PJs all day, play Xbox and surf the internet all day. People couldn't comprehend my desire to do nothing all week. It was amazing. Wiping my butt. I hate that crap. I always feel like I haven't wiped enough. Some days I can go through an entire roll, wipe, rewipe, check paper, not clean, wipe again, fold, smell fingers. Due to the countless number of times they've had toilet paper stuck to their buttocks, bears have also refused to use any type of toilet paper. Even the bears in the Charmin commercials don't support the brand. They only do the ads to support their vicious drug habits. You have been visited by the distinguished doggo of delicious delicacies. Comment tasty supper, hupper and be blessed with delectable dishes for the next decade. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.